Hi guys, welcome back to the Fortune Tech Space. Today's video is going to be entirely different from what we used to do. This time around, I want to share my journey with you guys so that you get to know how I got into tech. First of all, how I got to know about tech, and then how I got into it, and then what it is for me right now and what I foresee in the future, right? That's what I want to share with you. That being said, let's go straight into it. I'd like to introduce myself now. You all know my name is Fortune Tede. If you don't know, now you know. That's how come we have Fortune Tech Space. And I'm a Ghanaian. Both parents are Ghanaians, but then I was born in Nigeria. So I'm a Ghanaian and I'm a Nigerian as well, all mixed together. Now, fast forward, how did I get introduced to tech? Now, I knew about tech. Let's not lie about this. I knew about tech. I knew mobile phones, laptops, cameras, and all those stuff. I knew about them, but I didn't really know how the things that shows on the screens and all those stuff. I didn't know those stuff were software engineering. So I got introduced to that by my elder brother. And he introduced it to me because he had a friend. He was learning how to code HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. So anytime he goes to learn those stuff, he comes home and he's practicing. I go to sit by him, and then he shows me, what he's doing and all those stuff. He explained the whole software engineering thing to me. But then, at a point, as at that time I was in junior high school 3, going to write my exam for secondary school, and he was in high school last year going to write his exam for the university. So he kind of like took a break from this coding stuff, and I also took a break from the coding, like learning from him, right? So I later on moved to the secondary school. But when I moved to secondary school, I had a classmate who he was also interested in engineering stuff. So I don't know how come, but then we ended up started talking about software engineering stuff, and then we both had the same goals and visions. So yeah, we used to talk about it. So that brought my hopes back up for engineering, right? But then I was a day student and he was a boarder. Right, I was a day student. So when I get home, then I pick my brother's laptop. I didn't have my personal laptop. I pick my brother's laptop, and then I go to W3 Schools. If you don't know, W3 School is a platform that provides you with coding tutorials. I was looking at HTML, CSS on that website to study HTML and CSS. So I was doing those stuff until I had to come out from school. Graduated the secondary school, and now I had a long period to stay at home before my school placement comes out, where I'll be given a university school to attend. So whilst I was at home, there were so many things that were like running through my head. I needed to get a laptop. I needed to fasten up my process in learning how to code. And also, I was praying that my secondary school exam that I wrote for the university comes out good. So I could only handle 2 of those. That is, trying to get myself a laptop and then fasten up the engineering skill that I wanted. So I needed to work because obviously my dad and my mom were not in a position where they could provide me with a laptop. So I took a job. I went to work in a printing press, which paid me about 250 Ghana cedis a month. That's about $20 or something like that. Yeah, so I was doing that printing job for a while, and I was able to save some money. and all I needed. And yeah, so I saved some money for the laptop. I didn't know the laptop that I was going to buy, but I was just saving the money. Then a friend told me about a friend's laptop that he wanted to sell. I reached out and he said, "Oh, it's this amount." So I needed a top up. So I went to my dad, and my dad topped up for me with some balancing. I bought the laptop. So this is what I used to do. Once I got the laptop, I didn't quit the job. I was still working, right? I would go to work early morning as at 7 a.m. and close at 5. Then I come home and then probably take some rest, like 2 hours. Then I start like looking to coding stuff till like 3, 4 a.m. the next day, right? And then I'll sleep a little and then wake up and go back to work. That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing. And for me, I didn't see that to be a stress because I was so eager to learn. Mind you, when my brother reached out, when I reached out to my brother, I wanted to learn what he's doing, and he narrated all the story, what software engineer, all those things. I also went. I had to do my own research. That's how come I got to know about the founders of these big companies and how they came about, like Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, may he so rest in peace. And they motivated me, and I realized that okay, I don't really need a certificate or a degree or something. So, as at that point, I wasn't really eager about me passing my secondary exam, my WASI, to get to university. All I wanted to do at that time was to perfect my coding skills, right? That's what I was trying to do as at that time, even though I was still hoping that my secondary school results, secondary school WASI, my WASI exam would turn out to be a good one. So, yeah, where was I? Where was I even? Yeah, so I get home, I learn throughout the night to like 3, 4 a.m. Then I take another rest, then I go back to work. And it was happening that way. And then, so yes, then my dad came in, right? So my dad introduced me to someone. Now, this is how my dad got this connection. My dad used to be a bus driver, right? And I don't know if most of you should know about MEST, or if you don't know, MEST is an entrepreneur, a tech entrepreneur institution in Ghana from like, I think it's from the US, someone from the US started this company in Ghana where they train individuals to become tech entrepreneurs, to start companies and all those stuff. So when they came, most of the students that are being accepted into this program, this MESS program, are given a special accommodation, right? Somewhere where their school is also at a different place, right? So my dad was the one who used to pick them from the hostel to the campus, and then from the campus to. So my dad is a very free person when it comes to like humans. He's very nice to people, and people turn out to be very nice to him as well. So anytime he picks the student, he have conversations with them in the car. They used to chat and all those stuff. So when he saw my interest in tech, I was like, oh, why shouldn't he link his son to some of the people he knows over there and see how best they can help his son, which is me. So as at the time that we're talking now, my results hasn't come in yet from secondary. The secondary school results isn't in yet. On the 1st of February, my dad took me to MEST to go and meet a team of people who started a company out of Nest. So I went to meet with them. My dad introduced me to them and told them what I've been doing all along. And then he pleaded for them to take me on as an intern for me to learn more from them because they were like more advanced. They have even started a company, built a product, an application, right? So that was where the whole thing started, right? I joined this team as an intern, and every day I would have to wake up. So it means that so when I started that internship, I had to quit the job that I was doing, right? So I quit that job and started um, as an intern with this company for. I mean, when we went on the first week, I think the next 2 days, that was when I started. I make sure like I'm the first to come because I was really eager to learn the stuff. I was first at the office, learning. Like I've been sitting on this laptop, like sitting by my laptop throughout the day unless it's break, and then I'll go get some food, come back, learn. So this team was really helpful. Like they always explain stuff to me from ground up. I understood every single thing that they were saying to me. Anytime I'm writing code and it feels difficult, I will go to them. They kind of like find solutions to me, and they taught me how to even find solutions on my own using Google and YouTube. So I was doing this for a longer time, and once the CTO realized that Fortune is really good now, and he's ready to like take up an offer. That was when they gave me an offer with the company as a full stack engineer. So as at that time, I had learned front end, HTML and CSS. I've learned Python, and also I've learned Django for 4 months. So I was with them for 4 months as an intern, right? And something I forgot to say, in February, by then I was supposed to be in school, right? So this will happen. When I got this internship thing, I I was like, okay, I had to make a decision, right? My results came in, they were not too good for me to do computer science. So I chose either to go to the university to continue with agricultural science, which is what I did in secondary school, or I just continue with the internship and later on apply to a private university to continue with tech. So that's what I wanted to do, right? So I stayed to do the complete internship and then probably get into a private university to continue with IT, computer science stuff. So I was with this company for 4 months doing internship, and they were like, yo, Fortune is pretty good now to take on a full-time job. So I got a job with them, and guess what? I was paid. I was paid 1,000 Ghana cedis a month, right? I was paid 1,000 Ghana cedis a month. I was new, and I felt like that was okay for me working with a startup, right? I took that job as a full-time developer, full stack developer, where I was working with the CTO and some other developers. So and alongside doing this full-time job with them, the CTO is himself like used to give me other contracts from other clients, and I also worked on those projects alongside working full time with the company. So it really fastened up my skill. Like the process was really fast for me, being that I wasn't really just working on one project and it was just one thing. There were about 2 or 3 projects that I was working on at the same time, but not like in a haste, right? There are projects like I took my time to like work on them, and those are the things that that made my skills sharp, where I'm able to work on 2 or more projects at the same time, right? So yeah, so I was with this company for closely 2 years, 5 months, I was with them, working with them until I realized I thought to myself like I need to switch jobs. I need to apply to another job, right? So I applied to so many different jobs. As at that time, I applied to Andela. If you know Andela, then you know what I'm talking about. I applied to Andela. I applied to other freelancing sites. I was there in order to get gigs and all those stuff. And then I also applied to another startup which was more a little bit higher than the company that I was actually working in. So I applied to that company and I got the offer, right? The application process wasn't that easy, but then yeah, um if if we have to talk about application, then probably I'll do another video speaking more about the application process of mine, right? So let me just go through this experience as fast as possible so that we don't make the video too long. So applied to this other company and I got it. It was a Ghanaian, it's a Ghanaian company, right? I got that as a junior developer. I was working there for close to 3 years or 3 years and more. Yeah, so I joined that company as a junior backend developer, and I was a junior backend developer for about 11 months, a year, thereabout. And then I was moved from being a junior backend engineer to a senior backend engineer where I took on more responsibility, and then I was assigned a product where I have to manage other junior developers to get it built. So that's what I was doing. And alongside working full time with this startup, I also had contracts that I was working on from my personal clients as well, from both Ghana and other parts of the world. So whilst there, I also wanted to move after 2 to 3 years. I wanted to upgrade myself again because I think this tech industry, once you join a company and you feel you don't feel fulfilled, as in there are some things that you feel like you need to do, but then the current company you are in, doesn't allow you to to um to be in that level that you want to be. Then that's where you start to think about applying to other jobs that have that ability to put you in that level, right? I don't know if that really makes sense, but then yeah, that was it for me. So that's when I started applying to company, because as at that time, that I mean 2 to 3 years in this company that I was in, that was when I got to know more about the remote jobs. Like, I knew about it, but I knew it wasn't easy to get one. So as at that time, I felt like I had more experience and all those stuff. So I was going to apply. I was planning on applying for a remote job. So I applied for remote jobs and all those stuff. And luckily for me, I got one. So that when I got a remote job, that's when I have to leave this company that I was in as a senior backend engineer to join another remote job as a junior, not as a junior dev, as a backend engineer. And then I've been there for like also a year and some months, and then I was also moved to a senior role as well. So currently, I currently work with that company as a senior backend engineer and a lead when it comes to the tech the tech teams. I act as a lead over there as well. So yeah, that's how the journey has been for me. I know there are a lot of things that I have missed out because this video hasn't been scripted. I have nothing written on the paper. I just feel like saying this out to people out there who would like to know how the experience is like for me without having a degree. How did I, get my way to where I am? And it's that simple, right? It sounds simple to you, but there's more to it when it comes to discipline, disciplining yourself to do what I did, um, getting up every day, going for a 4 month internship, showing up every day, knowing well that you won't be paid at the end of the month. Really, you should look at it. It's not easy as I said it. There are more to it, but then all I can say is this: how my experience has been so far. There are more to it, which probably I might do a part 2 of this particular video, this journey thing. I might do a part 2 if God touch my heart. If not, then we'll go back to our coding stuff. Yeah, but thanks for watching this video, and I hope to do the part 2. I will definitely do the part 2. Thanks for watching this video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do that. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so that anytime I drop another video like this one or the coding videos, explaining stuff when it comes to tech, you would get notified. Thanks for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.